Hello, I'm Bob Gross. I'm the editor for Neurology, and I'm here with Birch Griggs, a former editor of the journal, who is finishing his term as AAN president. One of the more interesting features of the journal, we think, is the correspondent section, where people write us about their views about our published work, often some controversial point. And as we move from print into more electronic presentation of the journal, we want the correspondence section to be similarly updated, more interactive, more active. And Birch has agreed to come on as our correspondence section editor. And we're here today to hear his thoughts about how the new correspondence section may look and run. Birch.
Thank you, Bob. I'm excited about the possibilities for the correspondence section because I've always found if you look at big medical journals, the most interesting thing is typically the correspondence. It tells you what the problem with the work was, may highlight a disagreement amongst specialists in the field, and then you get a chance to hear the dialogue between two experts or 3 or 4 experts, depending on how many letters the publication attracts. I think that in the case of neurology, where we're accepting the very best of the clinical neurological literature, there's an opportunity for readers to contribute by writing their opinions about an article. It may be possible to simply have a line or two. If a point isn't obvious to a practicing neurologist, it might be simply just clarify this point, please. On the other hand, an expert in the field may say, you know, that's something the author overlooked, or we had our statistician look at the data and there's a problem with the data. This type of thing turns out to be a form of secondary peer review. In fact, some journals have called it peer review. But this is an open process where you get to hear what people have to think about the article you've published, and then the author gets a chance to explain why they did it their way. Periodically, I think we might actually want to have yet another person comment if there's an argument that can't be settled by the two protagonists duking it out in the email exchanges. It may be wise to get an expert, perhaps the editor-in-chief, to make a comment, or even the corresponding editor might weigh in occasionally.
So this is an interesting view of how our content may change. And I want to take a little bit of time to talk about format as well. As we move to an electronic medium, and we are working on an iPad application for the journal, we want to make it easier for this type of rapid correspondence to occur. So one thing we've been considering is the use of QR codes, which you've probably seen more and more frequently, that will be attached to each article, that will provide a link directly to you as correspondence section editor, so that readers can provide their comments in a real-time, rapid time frame. How do you envision the speed with which we'll be able to post responses?
Well, I would imagine using your QR code, you'd be able to access immediately the website to write your correspondence. They will be short. We're just deciding on the exact format. I would say something in the order of 25, 50 word maximum. And then they will be posted probably within 48 to 72 hours, just long enough for us to make sure that they're not violating patient confidentiality, don't result in libel suits for the journal, and that they say something that's important and of interest to readers generally, not just to a single person.
Wonderful. Birch, we look forward to the effort, and I hope all of you will enjoy our new correspondence section.